Hello everyone, my name is Douglas Phoenix, and I will be talking about the wonderful world of knitting today. I had to take on a project for my class, my Women in Leisure class, and we had different subjects to choose from, and knitting was the one I chose. I was going to take the knitting class that was offered at Michael's craft store, but nobody ever signed up so they could take it with me because they said you had to have 2 or more people to sign up. So I guess somebody else wanted to sign up. So I went into the store, told the ladies my situation. They showed me all the knitting supplies that they had, and I attempted it. And needless to say, it was pretty tough. Didn't know it was going to be this hard. I pretty much didn't even get anything to produce out of knitting for me. It was very frustrating at times. I spent maybe 2 or 3 hours really just trying to get get my stitches going. I was able to cast on, which is a term for knitting, where you get the yarn onto one of the needles in a proper form. I was able to do that after about 2 or 3 different YouTube videos. I was fortunate enough to finally cast on. Excuse me. And so after that, I tried stitching, and it just wouldn't work for me. Every time I tried to loop it in there, it just wouldn't go. It was very frustrating because the type of person I am, I always want to do good in everything. I at least attempt to. And knitting just wasn't for me. I do appreciate the craft because it's not easy at all. You just can't pick it up. You have to be diligent in it. And I did get got a kind of a revelation out of it. I was talking with one of my friends while I was trying to, in the process of knitting. And I told him I could see how this could be a very relaxing activity because you can almost zone where I was at before he called and everything. We started talking, and I was really zoned out and just focused on trying to to knit, but it just didn't come together. So, but I was sharing with him that the fact that I could see this being really good for somebody when they know what they're doing and it just becomes second nature, almost like breathing. And you can just go at it and you can completely zone out. For me, that would be kind of like a video game because it's second nature and I could just zone out and it becomes simple to me. So overall, knitting for me was very challenging, but rewarding at the same time. And it's something I'm not going to just put down. I want to at least try to make something. Because just the way I am in life, I want at least to try to produce something. The class got me started on knitting. I don't know how far I'm going to go. I was telling my coworkers and everything about it. One girl wanted me to make her like a scarf or something. I told her I don't know if I'm going to go that far. But who knows what I can make. Hopefully I can be able to take a class at Michael's and that can come together because that'd be really well. Somebody really showing me hands-on how to knit instead of watching the YouTube video and having to pause and rewind, and like, how did you get that? And just not coming together for me. So hopefully in the future, I can take a knitting class and go about doing it. And I mean, just the history behind it and everything is very fascinating as well, how it did start off as a very male-dominated field and how men were the predominant knitters, and then how it transitioned to women now, where it's pretty much second nature that we think women are supposed to knit 1, purl 2. As most people were telling me when I was sharing this with them that I would be knitting. It was between knitting and crochet. I heard crocheting is a little easier because it's just one needle compared to knitting where it's 2. But I'm always down for a challenge, and this was very interesting because it took me out of my element that I'm completely comfortable of, which also is a good thing for me because I'm always challenging myself to try to do something that isn't normal and to typical thing for a guy or somebody to do. So very eye-opening, rewarding at the same time, frustrating, and challenging. I would say challenging is the overall theme of what knitting was for me. And hopefully I could get a finished project sometime in the future. All right, thank you guys very much, and I hope you enjoyed my video on knitting. Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye.